Well, Group E winds down in the World Cup 2026, both games kicking off at the same time, and we will be focusing on the big one. Ecuador taking on Germany, who have already qualified. Ecuador is searching for their first victory in this World Cup edition. It has gone pear-shaped. They haven't scored a goal, and they're up against the Germany side, who already qualified, who've been scoring goals for fun, and have let in only 2 goals, as Julian Nagelsmann's men are very much fine-tuned here with a full-pronged attack, a side that's looking a lot more consistent, a lot more steady. And now you can see that attached to their name list with their team sheet, with not too many changes, despite Germany already qualifying for the next stage. Well, Cote d'Ivoire and Curacao will kick off at the same time, so we'll have a look at both games as to see where the standings have happened. Germany, of course, will finish top, but that second and third spot will be so dynamic, with the third spot people having not much in their own hands. But a win here for Ecuador could be absolutely massive. We'll put them on 4 points, and then we'll see whether or not they can make the best of the rest. Well, Germany gone with a strong lineup. Very surprising that Julian Nagelsmann hasn't rung in the changes here. He wants that same consistency going. It's a sea of yellow and white here at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Ecuador with Hernan Galindez in goal, going with the back three of Piero Hincapié, William Pacho and Joel Ordonez. The centre-half from Club Brugge, Nilson Angela, starting at the left side of wing-back, and John Yeboah on the right. The midfield three of Alan Franco, Pedro Vite, and of course the skipper Moises Caicedo, with the two-prong attack of Enner Valencia and Gonzalo Plata. Enner Valencia, of course, 49 goals for Ecuador, looking to break Ecuador's duck in the World Cup 2026. It would be a massive goal indeed if they can manage to breach Manuel Neuer in goal. David Raum playing left back, Antonio Rudiger and Jonathan Tah as the two centre-halves, with Joshua Kimmich, the skipper, as the right back. Pavlovic and Felix Nemecha, who's really impressed. That Dortmund midfielder playing in the centre with Pavlovic, with Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala and Leroy Sané, the front three, supplying the ammunition for Kai Havertz. Well, Kai Havertz is the top scorer for Germany in the squad. 29 goals for the Arsenal centre-forward. Did score in that 7-1 thrashing against Curacao. Could not find the goal. And Dennis Undav, who scored 19 goals for Stuttgart, is on the bench. He's the man with 3 World Cup goals, as Sebastian Becker-Cheche. In the dugout, as for Germany, it's the now very much familiar Julian Nagelsmann. Went from Leipzig to Bayern to now the top job of Germany, as Germany will look to go 3 out of 3, while Ecuador, they simply have to win here to keep their hopes alive. Because even if they finish third, it's only the top 8 teams from the third place squads will be progressing, so they have to make sure that they try and get there in and amongst. So it's going to be a very tricky game against an already qualified Germany, full of confidence. And Kai Havertz will get things up and running here in New Jersey. Well, the pressure is off here for Germany. You can really see how they stitch together a good performance here against an Ecuador side who simply have to win. Confidence, and Kai Havertz will get things up and running here in New Jersey. Well, the pressure is off here for Germany. Well, Manuel Neuer forming that trusted triangle of experience that Nagelsmann relies on with Jonathan Tah and Antonio Rudiger. It's great to see that even though they're advancing of age, someone like Nico Schlotterbeck not getting a chance to start. David Raum, Leipzig left back, as Kai Havertz tries to bully Joel Ordonez. And no nonsense play from both sides in the early stages, as Piero Hincapié put under a bit of pressure. Leroy Sané applying the full press on the Arsenal defender. Hincapié, William Pacho and Joel Ordonez form a very much formidable back three rather. Pace, power, last-ditch defending, and the ability to play out the back. William Pacho has certainly transformed PSG's defense since his introduction. PSG have gone back-to-back as Florian Wirtz has bursted through here. It's Florian Wirtz. Good play there by William Pacho. Comes across as Wirtz does the right thing there. Gets on the wrong side of Joel Ordonez. It's the long ball there by Jonathan Tah. Germany have started well here. Have to be on the front foot. David Rom tries to feed that through. They've done very well. It's a chance for Leroy Sané. It's 1-0. It's a lightning quick start for Germany. Brilliant goal. Florian Wirtz, who's been threatening in the early stages, sets up Leroy Sané and he just passes it into the bottom corner. Perfect start for Germany. The inquest continues here for Ecuador. That's a cracking finish there. Moises Caicedo wants a foul there. Let's have a look. Florian Wirtz. Ooh, there is a high boot there by Pavlovic on Vite. He gets the ball first, but he does catch Vite. Now, this goal could be chalked off, you know. It is a high boot. He gets the ball first, but he does catch Pedro Vite here. Ecuador have a case. Wirtz does the right thing. There's Sané with a cracking finish. But because Alexander Pavlovic got the ball first, the goal just might end up standing despite his foot being in an unnatural position. This would be a huge let-off this for Ecuador, but they'll feel that they pretty much warrant it if they go from the... I think the ref is being sent to the monitor. And if that's the case, the goal might be chalked off here. Florian Wirtz does really well. He just takes a drag back, and this Sané finish is so precise. Beautifully done. Wait and see whether or not the goal will stand. The VAR check will only happen prior to that incident where Alexander Pavlovic did raise his boot. The goal will stand, and Germany do have that perfect start. Nilson Angulo trying to make that bursted run down the left-hand side, and it's just pretty much a nightmare scenario for Ecuador. They're not just searching for their first win, they're searching for their first goal, and they're up against a full-strength Germany side who will have full of confidence, already qualified, got that early goal. Leroy Sané with a lovely finish there. Here's Pavlovic, whose challenge was under question, but he got the ball first and then caught Pedro Vite. Ooh, that might be a foul there on Jamal Musiala, who gets there first. Ecuador are getting passed around here. Germany too quick. Too quick for them. Yep. Joel Ordonez just goes lunging in there on Jamal Musiala. Sebastian Becker-Cheche looking at his side. Pretty much the worst possible scenario here. Yeah, as it stands, Curacao will be third and Ecuador will be grouped. And as a nation, it will be really, really disappointing. But from a Chelsea point of view, that would be absolutely massive. For Caicedo to get the end of June and possibly the entire July off is absolutely necessary. So I'm kind of hoping Ecuador to end up losing for selfish reasons. Would be harsh. Kimmich takes it short. Florian Wirtz back to Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich can float this one in, decides against it. Back to Wirtz. Good football this from Germany again. David Rom. Pavlovic nearly gets there first. Caicedo with the turn. He gets bullied off the ball there by Florian Wirtz, but Caicedo doesn't give that up. Throw in for Ecuador. They'll feel a little bit hard done by because Pavlovic does well to get the ball first. Yes, he does catch Pedro Vite, but I think because he gets the ball first, he's pardoned on that occasion. Becker-Cheche was convinced. Well, Ecuador will have to shake off this early disappointment as quickly as possible and start playing some football themselves. William Pacho. Nilson Angulo does well to bring that down. Sané works very hard. Nearly gives that back to Angulo. Good play there defensively. Jonathan Tah should get the foul. Well, the ref so far has let the game going, but also has spotted some fouls as the Sunderland winger, Nilson Angulo, who's Didn't score a goal for the club this season. Ooh, Germany nearly getting there through again. It's Wirtz. Ecuador in real trouble. Wirtz's strike well blocked. Germany are just keeping the ball with so much ease here. Felix Nemecha and Alexander Pavlovich having a comfortable time. Brilliant play this from Wirtz again. He's doing so much of the work. Pedro Vite does well to bring Ene Valencia into play. And that is good positioning there by Tony Rudiger. I think Ecuador will get the foul. Yep. Well, it's critical that Alan Franco, Pedro Vite, and Moises Caicedo all keep that shape and try and press Pavlovich and Felix Nemecha as much as possible. You will see Florian Wirtz from that left-hand side drop into the pockets and David Raum making that run from left back, holding the width. Here's Vite. Hincapié finds Pacho to Joel Ordonez. Can the back three very much on display. Caicedo, the deepest of the midfielders, allowing Franco and Vite to push forward. Here's Caicedo. Kai Havertz doing a good job pressing the Chelsea man. Angulo needs to do a bit of 1v1 magic there as Joel Ordonez finds Yeboah. John Yeboah on the right-hand side. It's a good spell of possession this for Ecuador. Oh, it's a poor pass there by Gonzalo Plata. Florian Wirtz with a good first touch, but brave there by Joel Ordonez. This is good play by Ecuador again. It's Nilson Angulo with the strike, and Ecuador have the equalizer. What a strike that is from distance. He catches out the experienced Neuer, and Ecuador are level in stunning fashion. 1-1 here in New Jersey, and woo, what a goal that was. Absolute cracker. Well, felt that Germany's early goal would have been a huge spanner in the works for Ecuador, but Nilson Angulo, he was not overawed by the situation. Bit of space, but he had so much to do to beat Neuer from there, and boy, oh boy, does he do it well. Felix Nemecha's touch is far too heavy in midfield, and from there, Angulo, again, just shifts and then shoots. He's been closed down. He has to take it quickly. And Manuel Neuer, question marks would be asked about the experienced goalkeeper, but it's game on. Well, what a start to the match here. Into the 10th minute, and it's 1-1 already. But Neuer reacts far too late. Is it because of the Felix Nemecha deflection? But either way, it's a huge leg up there for Ecuador. Well, they have their first goal of the World Cup, and it's come in excellent fashion. Look at what it means to their supporters who've made the journey all the way to see their side score against a Germany squad who have been near perfect in the group stages so far, had the perfect start, and now have been pegged back. Game on, and this is what we needed. We need to see whether or not Ecuador have it in them to go out of the World Cup without scoring a goal. Would be a huge disappointment. And now they can try and focus on getting the 3 points, which would get them in the mix in the third place teams. Cote d'Ivoire, of course, playing Curacao at the same time. The game has been so electric that I haven't even had a look at what's happened in the other games so far. As soon as we get a breather, we'll have a look at what's the score between Cote d'Ivoire and Curacao as Kimmich delivers his free kick. It's cleared away by Moises Caicedo. Florian Wirtz finds Sane. That's a heavy touch. Ooh, nearly led into a counterattack for Ecuador there. Gonzalo Plata on the left-hand side. The two-pronged attack for Ecuador certainly does work because David Raum nearly puts it on a plate there for Kai Havertz. Good defending by William Pacho. Caicedo goes biting into the challenge. Felix Nemecha's touches have been heavy. There you have it. Germany on 7, Cote d'Ivoire on 6, and Ecuador on 2. As it stands, will be in contention with the third place sides. Here's Rudiger. Pavlovich. You see the two centre halves for Germany, and they're split so wide. I mean, oh, they've lost the ball out here, and oh, the flag has been raised for a foul. That is suicidal play. I mean, we haven't seen this since Pep's Barcelona in 2009, where both centre halves, Jonathan Tah and Antonio Rudiger, are almost hugging the touchline here. This is wild stuff, this, from Julian Nagelsmann's men. Here's Nemecha. Finds Pavlovic. Sane. Rudiger. And now Rudiger and Tah both pressing forward as orthodox centre halves. But look at the domination here. It's all Germany with the ball. Ooh, risky. Very, very risky. But ends up into a calm header there. Hernan Galindez not having the communication there with William Pacho. Here Jonathan Tah finds his Bayern Munich teammate Alexander Pavlovic to his other Bayern Munich teammate in Leroy Sané. That quadrant, those four players, all from Bayern, Kimmich, Pavlovic, Tah and Leroy Sané. All of Bayern Munich, of course, Jamal Musiala, the number 10 too, so heavy representation from the Bavarian Giants. Good play this from Ecuador. They've come to play here. They're not able to build their attacks, but Ene Valencia has the one-man attack. He's going to have to try and run this by himself. Jonathan Tah does very well to smother the ball away. Well, Gonzalo Plata needs to be as close as possible to Ene Valencia when Ecuador do have the ball. Not going to see too much of it. Here's Leroy Sané, finds Joshua Kimmich to Pavlovic. Germany will continue to exercise patience. Here's the Real Madrid centre half, Rudiger. David Raum. Jose Mourinho is absolutely going to love Antonio Rudiger. Once he gets his hands on him, I think Rudiger is going to take a completely different arc in terms of a centre-back. Oh, what a strike that was. Felix Nemecha. Bit forceful play there from the Dortmund midfielder. Ken just uses his strong frame to create the separation away from Pedro Vite and then just lashes clear. Good evening, sir. Good evening. It's been a cracker of a game so far. Two outstanding finishes. Florian Wirtz setting up Leroy Sané's side foot finish into the bottom corner, and Nelson Angelo from distance beating Manuel Neuer in pretty emphatic fashion. 9 minutes in, 2 goals. Perfect start to the game. Well, as it stands, Germany will remain top. But if Germany draw here, just risk that Cote d'Ivoire will ask the questions, and either one of these sides finishing second certainly be an uncomfortable matchup for whoever they play in the next round. There's Musiala, finds Jonathan Tah. Gulo and Leroy Sané, the two wingers, with two very good finishes. Again, Germany are winning the ball back so quickly. I mean, every time Ecuador are trying to launch any sort of attack, it's been snuffed out within seconds. Here's Kimmich. Finds Felix Nemecha. Pavlovic. Ooh, poor touch there by Pavlovic, but Bayern midfielder was fouled. Well, Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side has started the game off very well. I like the way that he just drops into those pockets, those half spaces. He knows that David Raum is going to be holding the width, so doesn't have to start. He might start off as a touchline winger, but then he'll just drift in every single time, look to play those combinations with Jamal Musiala. Again, the match has been losing the ball quite a bit in midfield here. Not the best of starts here for man who did score against Curacao. Germany had 7 different goal scorers on that occasion. Mecha, Schlotterbeck, Havertz, Jamal Musiala. I think Brown and David Undev. Yeah, David Undev did score. The Stuttgart centre forward has been on fire. Did score those 2 goals against Cote d'Ivoire. But Jurgen Klopp had spoken about how David Undev should get a nod, possibly over Kai Havertz. Havertz does very well. Decent link up, but William Pacho reads the danger very well. Galindez just hammers that clear. It's been a good response, this from Ecuador's point of view, though. Could have very easily wilted away. Caicedo goes biting into the challenge in typical Caicedo fashion. It's been a great game so far. Fantastic watch. It's got to be said, most of the games in the World Cup have really delivered as a spectacle. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that South Africa beat South Korea yesterday. I mean, that should not happen from a South Korea point of view. I mean, I gave the disservice of putting South Korea and Japan in the same category in terms of the proficiency of their or propensity to go as far as possible in the World Cup, but I did a huge disservice to Japan, man, because Japan are levels above. They've been outstanding. They've found the cutting edge, and for South Korea to lose 1-0 to South Africa, a side that are pretty poor, that's a damning loss. Here's Joel Ordonez. Well, Ecuador, not overawed by the situation here. Responded in fantastic fashion. And now just holding on to possession. Here's Moises Caicedo. And very good carry this by Yeboah. He gets away from a couple of challenges. The centre halves are comfortable playing out the back. You can see them pushing up the pitch. Here's Nketiah. Finds Pedro Vite. Now to the midfield general, Moises Caicedo. Joel Ordonez. Everybody getting involved here in the back line. It's a bit rushed there, but good press applied by Germany on that occasion. First time watching Germany for the 90 minutes here today. Always nice to get a team like Curacao, isn't it? To get first up, get your goals, get everybody buzzing. Everybody gets involved with the goal scoring. Suddenly you just create that kind of unity in your squad. Lovely touch around the corner there by Nketiah. Trying to muscle his way past. And he doesn't get the rub of the green there. Nketiah is convinced that there was a dive there by Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich has got an arm. I mean, that's more of a foul by Kimmich on Nketiah rather than the other way around. German skipper getting the rub of the green this time. Back-to-back fouls given in favor of Germany. Ref being a bit more in favor of Germans so far as Jonathan Tah leads yet another German attack. Kimmich. Rudiger. Oh, Rudiger passes it to no one. David Rahman already got on his bike and made the run forward. Here's Gonzalo Plata. Well, Plata is playing very much as a right winger here. He's not playing as a centre forward whatsoever. He's holding the width and trying to go from out to in here. Pacho. Caicedo. Testament to Ecuador, really, of the players that are playing in Europe. Nketiah, Pacho, Joel Ordonez, and of course, Moises Caicedo. A lot of hopes for Kendry Paez. That's a clever pass onto the right-hand side. They play the 1-2 nicely. Germany defend. And now chance for the counter-attack. And Kai Havertz has barely gotten into the game so far. It's going to be difficult for Havertz. It's going to be a thankless task, really, up against either one of the centre-halves. They're Rough Riders, the Ecuador centre-half, so good luck for Havertz to try and get a bit of joy, as that's a good read there by Rudiger on that Caicedo pass. Here's Yeboah. Back to Caicedo. Ecuador are playing with a lot more confidence in Nketiah. Here's the goal scorer, Angulo. Nilson Angulo trying to square up Leroy Sané. Both the goal scorers, eyeball to eyeball here. Angulo, clever reverse. Nketiah with a cutback. Corner for Ecuador. Ecuador are very much in this game now. That's the thing. They're playing some good patterns too. So it's great to see some good football being played by the South American side. They know they have nothing to fear and everything to gain here with the victory against Number 10 in the world as Manuel Neuer punches the corner away. Pedro Vite might have had a case for a foul there in the build-up to Germany's goal. Sebastian Beccaceche will be very, very pleased with the way his side have responded against all the adversity. Here's Alan Franco. That's the thing with the Ecuador side. We mentioned the 4 players that ply their trade in Europe. The rest very much in South America. So there is that gap that needs to be bridged from Ecuador's point of view. Here's Ordonez. Finds Yeboah. Oh, lovely turn. Very much electric stuff there by Yeboah. Cross comes in. Oh, brilliant football this from Ecuador. They want the foul. They want a handball. They're getting none of it so far. The ref has given Ecuador nothing. That is not a foul. Play on. Good job, ref. Here's Caicedo. Ecuador sensing blood here. Lovely run onto the right-hand side. Decent cutback. Gets caught on the ball there. Ecuador are cooking here. Great stuff. Great stuff. Could have easily wilted, but the way that they've shown the character and now are just popping Germany around. Here's John Yeboah. Caicedo. Lovely. Gonzalo Plata. Ecuador are here to play, and Germany now looking to find solutions themselves. Clever clip pass onto the left-hand side. Ooh, good tracking back there by Leroy Sané. Not the first time. And he had to get that spot on. I think that was the run by Piero Hincapié. Sané does really, really well. That's the handball shout. Goes for the stooping header. Might have just come off the arm, but no one around him or off his forehead first. Again, the rub the green in terms of the decisions going Germany's way, but I know, man, Ecuador are giving them a real fight now. Again, on the ball, Germany are going or pretty much matching Ecuador's back 3 approach. Sané playing as right wing back and David Raum playing as left wing back. Pavlovic and Felix Nemecha as the pivot players. Musiala and Havertz as the Musiala and Wirtz as the 2 number 10s for Kai Havertz. Interesting move this. Here's Rom. Oh, clever dummy there by Havertz, but Caicedo under a bit of pressure. Oh, he gets caught on the ball there. Nemecha, Wirtz, David Rom. Oh, Havertz! Header straight at Hernan Galindez. It all comes from Moises Caicedo getting caught on the ball. Havertz having to generate all the power from a cross that didn't have any. No real pace on it. Well, so far, the only game that we have not seen a goal in the watch-along so far have been England-Ghana. That was a real snooze fest. This has been anything but. 2 well-matched teams. Number 23 versus number 10. It's in Angulo. Neuer finds Rudiger. Oh, he leaves it short. Picks it up quickly. Yeboah is electric on the right-hand side. So is David Raum. Rudiger left that pass very short. Plata. Caicedo. Wirtz. Musiala gives it away. Musiala has not had a good game whatsoever. Here's Caicedo. Does well under pressure. Pedro Vite. Gets away from Florian Wirtz. William Pacho. Pacho lets it go for Pedro Vite. Now Piero Hincapié. Again, possession-wise, it's no longer Germany. Ecuador are not just matching it, but possibly even exceeding possession. Sebastian Beccaceche has just told them, keep the ball, lads. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this one. Get Germany chasing shadows. Germany do have the more experienced bench. Dennis Undav is a real possibility as Nilson Angulo, William Pacho. Now you can see the back three has been made up by Hinkepie is playing in the channel here in the inside number 10 position. Pacho's playing as left side at centre half. Ordonez as the right, and Caicedo just slots in. This is excellent tactics, this from Ecuador, man. When they do have the ball, they've decided that yep, we can push not just Nilson Angulo high up forward, but Piero Hinkepie, who's we've seen him at Arsenal as well, operate in those number 10 positions high up. So it's Hinkepie is occupying that space between Jonathan Tah and Joshua Kimmich. And Ecuador keep the back three with Caicedo just dropping in between the two centre halves and Ordonez and William Pacho. So this is really fluid stuff from Ecuador's point of view, man. Really good watch. Well, they'll want to find solutions here, Germany. Julian Nagelsmann won't be very pleased with what he's seen from his side. Yes, they got the early goal, but since then, they have flattered to deceive. Seen very little of Jamal Musiala and Kai Havertz, really. The hydration break should be wrapped up. We should be ready for second part or the second quarter as it is now with the World Cup happening in America. It's been a very good World Cup, man. It's got to be said. Games have been exciting to watch. It's been a real bit of competition. Even though it's been an extended format, we're seeing the quote-unquote smaller sides really step up. I mean, Cape Verde getting a draw against Spain and Uruguay is just fantastic. And for an island nation such as that to get such huge results is really a testament. Well, Ecuador would have thought that it might be overmatched or overpowered, but it has not been the case. Since that goal from Leroy Sané, Hernan Galindez has not been troubled whatsoever in goal. Kai Havertz has barely gotten involved. He's up against three centre halves. They're playing almost 3v3 Ecuador, and they're happy to do so. They've gone Wirtz, Musiala, Havertz up against Hinkepie, William Pacho, and Joel Ordonez. Or if Caicedo wants to add that extra man in, they're happy to do so as well. So Ecuador got the balance spot on. And what really helps is they're brave on the ball. They're moving the ball very well in the final third, getting a few crosses in, few cutbacks. Got to build brick by brick. Nilson Angulo's finish was fantastic. Caicedo finds Joel Ordonez. Ordonez has looked good, hasn't he? 22-year-old Club Brugge centre-back. Ecuador not getting the foul again. David Raum. Good challenge by Joel Ordonez. Excellent. Really good stuff. Germany's left-hand side has been the preferred method of, or preferred direction of attack, really. Do have Brown on the bench, who can very much fill in at left back. He's moving from Stuttgart to Bayern Munich, of course. Caicedo does really well. Lovely first touch there by Gonzalo Plata can't find Enna Valencia. Here's Wirtz. Oh, terrible pass. And now Nilson Angulo can drive at the Germany defense. Angulo slips it through to Enna Valencia. It's Enna Valencia with the strike. It was a tight angle anyways, but Jonathan Tah comes across as Pavlovic clears. That was a really poor pass there by Florian Wirtz. Here's Musiala. Bundled over. Play continues though as Joshua Kimmich leads the attack. With 30 minutes played in New Jersey and both sides well matched. Sane again commits a couple of players. Musiala looks to slip it through. Here's Kai Havertz. Havertz is onside. Yep, goes all the way back. Havertz has not looked to really have that link or that focus yet. Here's Havertz. Pavlovic. Sane tries the nutmeg, doesn't work. Angulo pinches it. Here's Pedro Vite, gets a bit fortunate but can drive forward. Oh, that's terrible by Gonzalo Plata. Immediately hand of apology. That was a chance for Ecuador to really open up Germany with a few passes. Here's Rudiger. Jonathan Tah. Back to Rudiger. Oh, Ecuador have pinched the ball again, and Pavlovic on the cover does really well. Cote d'Ivoire are leading against Curacao. Nicolas Pepe scoring in the 7th minute, which means that as it stands, Ecuador will remain in third, but that third place table looks really, really hectic. It's all Ecuador with the ball, man. I mean, I've been really, really impressed, and I'm pretty mystified as well as to how Ecuador find themselves on 1 point before this game. They should have definitely gotten points, or all 3 points against either Cote d'Ivoire or Curacao. Sami Khedira had that breakout World Cup in 2010. Started in 2014 when Germany did end up picking up the cup. Manuel Neuer. Good header there by Alan Franco, but Germany on the counter-attack here. Florian Wirtz, clever ball here for Jamal Musiala. What a wonderful block. Joel Ordonez on the cover. Jamal Musiala was slipped through by Florian Wirtz, who came from an Ecuador mistake, but fluid play this from Germany. Great challenge there by Joel Ordonez. He looks like quite the centre half too, doesn't he? I think he's also another player that's going to be on the move to a big club in Europe in the summer. Been hearing a lot of good things about Joel Ordonez, and now the whole world can see the kind of profile that he is. Corner for Germany. Wirtz delivers. They don't clear it. They do get a bit fortunate, and now they can lead the break here. On the left-hand side, Piero Hincapié leads the break here for Ecuador. There's no support. We'll have to wait, and he does exactly that. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Well, since Ecuador have equalized, it's been all Ecuador in terms of possession, man. Fantastic. They've pinned Germany back. They've not just matched them, but they've played some better football. Germany have just run out of ideas. We haven't seen too much. That chance where Musiala was slipped through was the only real football that Germany have played in an attacking sense since scoring that goal in the 3rd minute. That was blocked by Joel Ordonez, but Germany need to improve, but they don't really need to play at a high clip here. It's all about gaining valuable minutes and that togetherness, as they will definitely end up leading Group E by the looks of it. Clever turn there by Felix Nemecha. Nemecha showcased the good and the bad of his midfield abilities so far in this first half. Rudiger. David Raum, back to Rudiger. You can see the back three here, now turning into a back four. That's why someone like Leroy Sané is a cheat code in terms of your ability to switch shapes. He can play wing back or as a winger. Caicedo bites into the challenge. Musiala with just a bit of lovely footwork. Musiala trying too much by his lonesome. Oh, crunching challenge there. Referee plays on. Brilliant. Here's Gonzalo Plata. Needs to keep the ball. Does exactly that. Much better this. Ecuador have very much matched them. Yep, Ivory Coast leading. Nicolas Pepe scored in the 7th minute, if I'm not mistaken, which means Germany will be top. Ivory Coast second. A point is not good enough for Ecuador. They'll be on 2 points, which means Manny Caicedo might come home early. Just let me know what's happening in the third place teams, because that is a very dynamic situation. I mean, that's going to change come tomorrow morning because there are 4 more games after this one. Here's Nemecha. The midfield of Ecuador have done really well. Very well. Shouldn't surprise us. Here's Nemecha now with his powerful running ability. Nemecha with the strike. Well blocked by William Pacho. Ooh, Pavlovic hits his pass up against the referee. There was a chance there for Germany to continue their attack. How many third place teams qualify? 8. So it's 12 from the top, 12 runners up, and 8 teams out of the 12 will make it through to the round of 32. I think if my math serves me right, that's the equation. Leroy Sané, very casual player. I don't think Sané, despite scoring the opener for Germany, again, it's because of his pace and his that long stride running style that he's got that keeps him on that. But performance-wise, he needs to step up here because a lot of those attacks down the right-hand side has pretty much died out. Sebastian Bekacheche will be really pleased with the way that his boys have gone out here and have matched Germany every step of the way. Could have very easily wilted after Germany got that opening goal. Nope, came back strong. Nilson Angulo wants a foul. He's not going to get it. Here's Musiala on the turn. Musiala away from Caicedo, but good play there by Alan Franco. Pavlovic. Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz thought about the shaped ball into the box. Well blocked. Angulo's a good outlet there for Ecuador. And that's the second time that Joshua Kimmich has pulled his jersey and has had no repercussions, man. Come on. The referee is turning a blind eye on some of the underhanded tactics that Germany are using here. Here's the skipper, Kimmich. Rudiger. But Manuel Neuer was beaten from distance by that Nilson Angulo strike. It looked like something wrong-footed. It might have taken a slight deflection of Felix Nemecha, but it did look like he responded far too late. Wasn't hit with that kind of power, but just that sharp deflection took it away from the 40-year-old Neuer. Surely his last World Cup for Germany. Here's Tah. Rudiger. And Germany exercising patience, but no penetration. It's been a bit turgid rear. I think the way that they started the game was excellent, but since Ecuador has shown that they can match them, they've been a lot more conservative. This is a much better looking pass. Musiala bends his run to stay onside on the left-hand side here. Here's Jamal Musiala. Outside of the boot pass is very well defended. Is that Caicedo? Yes, it is. Brilliant from the skipper. He saw that his side were in trouble there. He makes the tracking run. Musiala very much onside. Look at this from Caicedo. He keeps scanning. He keeps scanning. He can see the run being made by Havertz, and he gets there first. Here's Tah. 4 minutes plus added on time remaining in the first half. It's been an enjoyable watch. Again, Germany's bench with Undav there with 3 World Cup goals. Red hot form will be itching to come on because Kai Havertz has not made the impact that Julian Nagelsmann would have liked his centre forward to have made. Pavlovic and Nmecha have been energetic, powerful, but in terms of that cleverness, that bit of that cheeky passing, it's just been lacking. Something between the lines, maybe get Joshua Kimmich in that midfield. Could get Schlotterbeck to play as a auxiliary right back. They want to play with that back three, which Germany do look to play sometimes when they do have the ball. They can have Schlotterbeck, Jonathan Tah and Rudiger as the three centre halves, push Rom and Sane as the two wing backs, and Kimmich goes into midfield alongside either Pavlovic or Nmecha. I think it would be Nmecha who would be sacrificed for that substitution, but it's like for like. But you might see a little bit more in midfield from Germany's point of view. I say Bayern's point of view because they have 5 Bayern Munich players in the Germany squad. So foul there. Havertz tries to take it quickly. Nketiah picks up a yellow card. While in isolation, the draw is a good result here for Ecuador, but they need all three. Absolutely need all 3 points here. That was a very cynical tug there by Piero Hincapié on Leroy Sané. Definitely warrants a yellow card. The ref's been good. Yes, Pavlovic. Rudiger. Germany would love to go into half-time with their noses in front. Might feel a bit undeserved. Again, poor pass there by Jamal Musiala under no pressure. Pavlovic, that's a foul and that's a yellow card too. Yep, absolutely. That's a yellow card for Alexander Pavlovic. That all comes from Jamal Musiala just giving the ball away in midfield. Ecuador have been pouncing on them. Yep, a draw is not good enough for Ecuador, Manny. They have to win. The third place table is so tight. You've got to have minimum 3 points. 4 might be good enough. But, oh, Moy going home would be absolutely brilliant. Moy, Palmer and Joao Pedro getting a bit of a break. Whew. Give me some of that. Here's Franco. Finds Yeboah. Yeboah has got direct running ability, but decides to check his run. Here's John Yeboah. Ecuador will feel that if they can get a goal before half-time, they certainly would have warranted it. Clever pass between the lines. Oof. Nilson Angulo does make the run. I like those runs that the wingers make from out to in. It becomes so difficult to track as a fullback because you have to go all the way inside. You do leave all that space, and that central area gets a little bit more crowded and might get in the way of your centre half. Here's Felix Nmecha. Approaching the final half a minute of first half action. Might see 3 minutes of added on time at least. Game's had a good flow to it. Sane, Nmecha, Musiala, Havertz. Havertz, clever, but good defending by William Pacho. The back three of Ecuador, just top quality stuff, man. Pavlovic. He might be the midfielder that's sacrificed in the second half because he does have a yellow card. There's Jonathan Tah. Finds Leroy Sané. 7 teams already on 3 points and 3 of them haven't even played yet. Yep, so Ecuador will be going home. Wrap up Moy in bubble wrap. Make sure that nothing happens on his way from the States to London. Give him whatever he wants. The lengthiest break imaginable. Please. Here's Tah. Oh, poor pass, and pretty much summing up Germany there. Julian Nagelsmann's side looked electric in the early stages, but since Ecuador have equalized, they've looked toothless. Sebastian Beckercheche's side have been the better team. Yes, they've not troubled Manuel Neuer, but they've played some better patterns. They've looked the more cohesive side since both teams have been level. Lovely touch there by Plata. Slightly heavy on that occasion. Shows far too much there to David Rom. 3 minutes remaining. Germany already qualified. Point will take them top. They'll remain top. Well, Ecuador in the second half, Manny, they're going to come out all guns blazing. Make no mistake about it. I think they need to throw on Kendry Páez as well. Why not? They got nothing to lose. Chuck in the Wonder Kid. It's gone all pear-shaped for him. I mean, the Strasbourg loan didn't work out. We sent him to River Plate. They sent his ass back home. Chelsea need to take good care of him. Make sure that he gets his focus back. Very easy to get your head turned as a young footballer in Europe, even in South America. Just put him in the under-21s and let him grow. That's a very good-looking pass. And Valencia looking for his 50th goal for Ecuador. Florian Wirtz with a very good touch, but Ecuador win the first ball. Brilliant drop of the shoulder there by Angulo on the left-hand side to Piero Hincapié. Cross comes into the box. Good defending by Jonathan Tah. It's very good stuff this by Ecuador. Germany are losing all the duels, man. Their midfield looks very lightweight. I mean, apart from Felix Nemecha and Kai Havertz to some extent, Germany are losing a lot of their duels in midfield, man. Ecuador just look a touch sharper, a lot more aggressive, and they're coming out with the ball a lot more of the times. Germany need to fix up in that department there. A little too lightweight. Wirtz, Musiala, even Sane on that right-hand side has made a couple of decent runs tracking back, but in terms of getting involved in the duels, William Pacho had to be careful. Ball just got caught under his boot. Bosnia should qualify. Yep, ended third with 4 points. Yeah, Bosnia should qualify. I think the teams are on 4 points will be fine. It's the team that are on 3 that's going to have a mad rush. They've just about kept that in there, Jamal Musiala. This would be real cruel on Ecuador if Germany do end up scoring. Rom with the ball in. Wirtz. He takes an age to get rid of the ball, but brilliant play this, but he's completely mauled there. It took far too much time. He's never going to get the luxury of that. Final attack of the first half here. Felix Nemecha. Wirtz. Sane. This ball has to go in. Sane looks to play the 1-2. Excellent challenge there by William Pacho. Should get the foul there. I think that might be the last bit of play in what has been a very entertaining first half. Leroy Sane gave Germany the lead in the second or third minute, and Nielsen Angulo from distance in the 9th minute gave Ecuador the equalizer. And from there, Ecuador have played some really good stuff. They have not just matched Germany, but they've been the better side heading into the halftime break here in New Jersey. It's been very good of a watch. But as it stands, a point is not good enough for Ecuador, while Germany already qualified and will continue to be top of Group E as the scores remain here. Halftime, 1-1. Well, I've been very disappointed with Germany. I thought as soon as they scored that goal, they'll just push on and just kick on, go from strength to strength, but some very disappointed play. Pavlovic and Felix Nemecha feels very like for like. It's almost like Anderson and Declan Rice for England. It just feels like you need to have some other solution in that midfield. It feels two players of the similar ilk, running power. You've got a lot of the same attributes. I feel someone like Joshua Kimmich, if you don't want to make too many changes, just get Kimmich as one of the midfielders, and maybe a bit of the passing improves in midfield. I think, and they're losing far too many duels in the final third as well. You see the likes of Musiala, Wirtz, Havertz, and Leroy Sane up against that strong backline and that biting midfield of Ecuador. So they've matched Germany in the physicality and the tackling department, and they've played some very good football, the South American side, so they can take a lot of positives heading into the second half. I can fully expect Ecuador to come out guns blazing, hell for leather in that second half, to know that they need all 3 points to have their hopes to try and prolong their FIFA World Cup 2026. Halftime in New Jersey, it's 1-1, and I will be back for the start of the second half, lads. Do stay tuned. It's been a really fun game, and I'm expecting the second half to really come to life. Well, Germany do have Undav on the bench, who scored 3 goals in the World Cup already. I think he's got 18 goals for Stuttgart, if my memory serves me right, which is a fantastic return. And compare that to Kai Havertz, who's got only the 2 goals in the Premier League, and the only goal in the World Cup for him has come against a Curacao side. So Havertz needs to step up here. Yes, he might just feel that he's taken his foot off the gas, considering that Germany have already qualified. You don't really have to go full clip, but it's important to keep that air of invincibility going here because the challenges will be fierce. But as it stands, Germany cannot have too many complaints as they will be top of Group B as it stands. It's going to be a cracking second half, Manny, because Ecuador know that they have Germany for the taking here. They're not overawed by the opposition. They know that they can very much match them quality for quality, man for man. And now it's all about trying to string those last few passes in the final third. The back three, fantastic. Joel Ordonez, William Pacho, Piero Hincapié, no notes. Fantastic. Moises Caicedo, excellent. Yes, he's been caught on the ball a couple of times, but you can understand that Moyes have all that responsibility as the number six to try and get Ecuador playing out the back in those tight areas to try and set off some of the attacks. Alan Franco and Pedro Vites provided the legs. Nilson Angulo on that left hand side. Yeboah on the right have worked really hard. Yeboah with his direct running style is going to be a real handful considering David Rome has continued to make that run as the left wing back. Yes, they need to get their two centre forwards, Plata and Ena Valencia, in the play a little bit more, few more chances in the box, and Ecuador can be cooking. And if Ecuador score the first goal in the second half, it is going to be a brilliant, brilliant game. Can't wait for the start of the second half, guys. I'll be back very, very shortly. Well, we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. 1-1 as Leroy Sané opened the scoring for Germany and Nilson Angulo with an excellent equalizer, which means that Ecuador still have a chance, but they'll need all 3 points if they're going to try and secure an all-outside qualification berth. A point is not going to be enough. They will be on second, or 2 points rather, which is nowhere near enough. They'll have to make sure that they try and get all 3 points here up against the Germany side that they're very much matched, as Julian Nagelsmann will not be happy with that first half. It's absolutely critical that they try and find solutions. Yes, they've already qualified. The pressure won't be there in that second half to really go after it, and that's something that Ecuador can try and seize upon and try and put that extra bit of pressure on a Germany side who have been lackluster since that opening goal. Florian Wirtz, who did set it up for Leroy Sané, has been one of the more dangerous players for Germany, but other than that, it's been slightly disappointing from Julian Nagelsmann's side. It'll be very interesting to see whether or not Julian Nagelsmann ends up putting out the same side for the start of the second half. Does he look to make a couple of changes? Nathaniel Brown is certainly an option in fullback. If he looks to bring him on, Joshua Kimmich can easily go into midfield, sacrifice one of Felix Nemecha or Alexander Pavlovich. Pavlovich is on a yellow card, so he might be the one that is, quote-unquote, the sacrificial lamb. Certainly an option in fullback. Well, thanks to everyone tuning in. It's well over 2:30 a.m. here in India. Games coming thick and fast. It's the end of Group C. Already have Mexico who have qualified. Switzerland have done very well themselves. Germany will top Group C as it stands. Ivory Coast will join them. They lead against Curacao as it stands with that 1-0 Nicolas Pepe goal. It looks like the change will be made. It's Angelo Stiller who's coming on. It's going to be a straight swap, which means that Kimmich will remain as right back. Stiller replaces Pavlovich. I understand why. Again, Stiller in midfield. Get 45 minutes to see the German midfielder in action here. As Ecuador will come out for the start of the second half with renewed optimism, the crowd behind them, and they know a big 45 minutes is needed here if they're going to get all 3 points and try and make some noise in that third place bracket, because as it stands, Germany will be top and Ecuador will be going home. Nilson Angulo, Leroy Sané, the 2 goal scorers, as we're all set for the start of the second half. And we're off and running for the start of the second half. The MetLife Stadium in New Jersey in pristine condition here. Still looking to set here. Still going to be a very interesting second half as Ecuador, they want the foul. They're not going to get it. Leroy Sané on the right-hand side, trying to give Germany the fast start like they did in the first half. Here's Felix Nemecha is up against Caicedo. Havertz wants the pen here. The ref has pointed to the spot. Germany will have the perfect start to the second half here. Kai Havertz fouled in the box. Sebastian Becker-Cheche cannot believe it. Oh, can you believe this one? I mean, talk about a nightmare start. Nemecha was possibly fouled by Angulo. Oh, that is so rash by Joel Ordonez there. He is not going to survive this one. He's gone clattering into Havertz. That's a pen. Oh, that's a terrible challenge. Why has he gone jumping in? I'll never understand. That might be a foul there on Pedro Vite in the build-up. There's a lot to have a look here. That's a foul by Leroy Sané on Pedro Vite before the ball was played to Kai Havertz. Sebastian Beccacheche is going to have a real point here because his team are not getting the decisions. They're going to have a check, and the referee is going to be sent to the monitor. This is on the challenge on Pedro Vite, I'm pretty sure, because Joel Ordonez's tackle on Kai Havertz was a clear foul. It's going to be whether or not Pedro Vite was adjudged to be fouled in the build-up. That is a foul by Sané. Yep, I don't think another check needs here. He's clearly caught Vite there. And that's where the attack started. That's a clear foul. I think the pen has to be chalked off here. There's still a lot of football that's gone on. It's the second phase. They're going to wait. It's definitely a foul on Pedro Vite, and I think the pen will be cancelled off here. Ecuador catch life. Ecuador do catch life. Sebastian Beccacheche. He is not good. I mean, that's the incident. That was the foul. A pen should not stand here. And after a lengthy check, I think justice has been served here. But it was Vite who did get caught by Pavlovic in the build-up to the first goal. But Pavlovic did get the ball first before catching Pedro Vite on the head with the high boot. But no pen is the right call. And that would have really knocked the stuffing out of Ecuador, man. They conceded early in the first half. Joel Ordonez had his heart in his mouth because that was a reckless challenge by the 22-year-old. To go lunging in the box like that screams inexperience. Foul there on Ordonez by David Rom. It's a free kick for Ecuador. Ecuador will have to play the second half in stages. They know that Germany have enough quality to blow them out the water. Not used to seeing Caicedo on set pieces, but he is the main man for Ecuador. The skipper lining up this free kick from the far side. He's got some big targets to aim at. William Pacho, Piero Hincapié, Joel Ordonez, all targets. Decent ball in. Oh, what a ball that is by Caicedo. Puts it into the corridor. Here's Hincapié. He wanted the throw in. He's not going to get it. And now it's Germany on the counter-attack. Good play there. Nicely done. Musiala wants a quick throw in, and Ecuador using some underhanded tactics there. Ooh, Anderson to City. Here we go, Manny. Oh, we got a big news on the live stream. 130 mil. Woo! City have gone all in on Elliot Anderson. That is a big move indeed. We knew he was going to move. It's just a matter of when. You like this jersey, Manny? I like the Germany black. The black kit with the white and gold trimmings. That was really elite. This one, I like the Ecuador kit a little bit more, I'm not going to lie. Do like that yellow on them. Ooh, Hena Valencia gets shoved in. He's been devoid of service, the all-time top scorer for Ecuador. 35 years of age. Not the most prolific club here for Hena Valencia is Jonathan Tah and Hena Valencia, both going shoulder to shoulder. Ah, the number fonts. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not gonna lie. Pretty good. Nothing's really changed from Germany's setup. Flick on header by Kai Havertz. Leroy Sané stretches his leg. Good defending by William Pacho. Ecuador clear. Germany trying to find solutions, but it's more of the same, really. Kai Havertz trying the old school centre forward play here with the flick ons and the knockdowns. Here's Wirtz now with the flick on header. Kimmich, Nemecha. Nemecha rolls the challenge. Good football this from Germany, and Angulo goes biting into the challenge. Lovely feed there by Yeboah. Drops the shoulder. And now Ecuador in business. They slow down the attack. I think the right move has been made as Alan Franco now in midfield. Finds Ene Valencia. Caicedo. Germany quickly back into their defensive shape. Here's Pedro Vite. Finds Piero Hincapié. Nelson Angulo is holding the width on that left-hand side, and Hincapié now can just start roaming in those half spaces. There's Joel Ordonez. Gonzalo Plata. Oh, he lifts it short, and that's a terrible pass, and now Germany could be in business. Here's Musiala. Having to check his run. Having to go backwards to go forwards. Here's Wirtz. Angelo Stiller rather in midfield. Here's Kimmich. What Ecuador have to be very careful about is those loose passes into midfield. Germany on the counter-attack can be very lethal, and then the same can be said about Germany losing the ball in midfield. Here's Angulo. Nelson Angulo having a run at the defense. Plays a nice pass onto the right-hand side. Great run this from Yeboah. It's been really impressive. Yeboah chops. Yeboah drags it on the right foot. Deflection. Corner for Ecuador. Brilliant stuff, that. Oh, India debut tomorrow for Suryavanshi? Damn. Life comes fast for the 15-year-old. Debut against Ireland. Been very impressed with John Yeboah on that right-hand side for Ecuador. He's one to watch out for in the future. He's got that direct running style and that ability to chop and go both directions. Corner for Ecuador. Goal now, and the stadium will be thrown into raptures. It's a sea of yellow behind the goal. Corner for Ecuador. It's travelled a long way, and Angulo trying to just direct his header. It was Caicedo rather. Both Caicedo and Angulo have the goal trim. Well, Angelo Stillo coming on for, again, like for like substitutions. I mean, Pavlovic and Stiller. That's the only change that Julian Nagelsmann has made in the first half, which has been slightly disappointing from Germany's point of view. I like to see them try and mix things up here. Manuel Neuer with a great throw, but it's been intercepted. Angulo intercepted by Leroy Sané. There's Nielsen Angulo. Great feed there by the Sunderland winger. Angulo keeps the ball, but having to do too much by his lonesome. Trying to get the ball fast forward there. Lovely touch. Here's Kai Havertz now. Keeps it short here to Angelo Stiller. And now Leroy Sané can open up and run down the right-hand side. Here's Leroy Sané. Will look to go on his favoured left foot. Oh, it takes far too long, and it's an easy win. Hincapié, Pacho. Jonathan Tah. It's a good challenge there. Tah just caught dawdling on the ball, and that's a foul there by the German centre-half on Nilson Angulo. $130 million, Manny, for Elliot Anderson. Whew. Enzo Maresca really wanted him, eh? What does that mean for Nico Gonzalez or our City preparing for life for after Rodri. Maybe Rodri moves to Real Madrid next season or something like that. Elliot Anderson being the long-term successor. Because Nico Gonzalez will be looking at that move, thinking that I'll already get very little game time. Should Chelsea have a pop at Nico Gonzalez, Manny? Need somebody in midfield. He's already Pep approved. If he needs somebody in terms of positional play, somebody to partner Moises Caicedo, Nico G is not the worst option. It's already Prem proven. Javier Mascherano and... Is that Ricardo Kaká? No, it isn't. Can't believe that Forest owner didn't blackmail Anderson like he did with Gibbs White last year. I think they wanted 100 million for Gibbs White. City thought that that's too much. They ended up getting Ryan Cherki for like 30 million. I think that was very good business from City's point of view. This time Marinakis made sure that City paid everything and then some for the services of Elliot Anderson. So what's Enzo Maresca's side looking like as it stands? Let's say they go with the back three like Maresca did like at Chelsea. He'll want his fullbacks inverting into midfield. Nico O'Reilly, very much capable from left back inverting into midfield. Josko Guardiola is going to be one centre half. Kusanov definitely another. Even if you ask Ruben Diaz to the equation, and that's possibly the back four with Nico O'Reilly inverting from left back into midfield. Kusanov as the right-sided centre half. Rodri and Elliot Anderson as the two number sixes, two number eights. Ryan Cherki and maybe Phil Foden as the two number 10s. Semenyo, Doku as the ones holding the width, and Haaland as the centre forward. Maybe that's how City will look under Enzo Maresca next season. Galindez does well with the clearance. Germany have just taken the sting out of the game here. They're just playing some negative football here. Nothing really sticking up front. Can the changes? Still waiting for a bit. Ecuador haven't shuffled their pack either. They don't have the strength and depth that Germany have. Germany do have a bit of a drop-off in terms of real quality of the bench too, but someone like Nathaniel Brown coming on can certainly change the dynamic from the wide areas for Germany. Caicedo goes crunching into the challenge. It's going to be a real chase on here for William Pacho, who's really quick. Pacho's quick. He wants to foul and he's going to get it. Sane a little too impatient there. Just needed to wait a little bit. William Pacho had nowhere really to go, the PSG centre half. It looks like Luis Enrique will be really glad to see William Pacho coming home soon, as Ken, it's a very interesting move here. It's going to be like for like too by the looks of it, as Undov's coming on for Kai Havertz and Malik Thiaw is coming on. He's going to possibly replace Jonathan Tah or Antonio Rudiger. It's Kimmich who's coming off. Rudiger gets the captain's armband. Yeah, looks like Malik Thiaw will just slot in at right back, and it's Undov centre forward for Kai Havertz. Well, no surprises that Julian Nagelsmann has made the changes. Couldn't have been too happy with what he has seen. Decent flick on header. Angulo. Great feed there by the winger. Here's Wirtz. Stiller gets robbed off the ball in midfield. Angulo finds Nketiah. Now Vite. Angulo again drops the shoulder. A little too quick for his own good on that occasion. Yep, Malik Thiaw slotting in at right back here, the Newcastle centre half. Ecuador going to make a change themselves. Let's try and freshen up in a couple of positions. Good challenge on that occasion. There's Musiala. Again in a tight space, has nowhere to go really. Yep, final half an hour. As it stands, the point is good for Germany. Not good whatsoever for Ecuador as a double substitution Being introduced here by Sebastian Beccaceche. Here's Pacho. Finds Ordonez. Galindez. Ultimately powerless to stop the Leroy Sané effort, but since then he's had absolutely nothing to do in goal. Not even a pop shot from distance. That's the real disappointing part of this Germany performance. Rudiger really had no interest in playing the ball there as Manuel Neuer looks to start off the attack. Nice touch there by Undav, trying to just spin behind. Valencia. Fantastic strike there by Valencia. Hits there with so much power. The only thing was it straight at Manuel Neuer. It's all Ecuador now. They're sensing that the game is there to be won here. Germany have thrown their best at them and it has barely produced any sort of impact. Here's Pacho. Finds Vite. Clip pass to no one really. Jonathan Tah finds Malik Thiaw. Thiaw with a line breaker to Musiala. Musiala does really well. Lovely layoff there. Undav to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz on the left-hand side. Look at Rom bursting his gut there to get there first. It's David Rom. Having to check his run. Rom clip pass in. Surely. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping there by Galindez. Great handling. Scoops it from mid-air. Again, Germany on the break. Could Florian Wirtz play the reverse pass there to David Rom, who's made that run and he does everything right. Just floats it into the box for Undav, but good goalkeeping as Ecuador can finally make the double substitution. With chances at both ends. Manuel Neuer making a good save on that occasion. Good first touch. And Valencia drawing a good save out of the 40-year-old. Struck it well, but in the end, comfortable height. Well, there's the double substitution. Franco and Ana Valencia off. Ricardo and Rodriguez on. Preciado and Rodriguez. Germany making a change too. Like I said before, he would not be happy with this performance here, Julian Nagelsmann. Mecha's off. And it's Beer taking his place. There's Joel Ordonez. Good line breaker there into midfield. Well, Plata is playing as a number 10 now. He's drifting in and around the pockets. Angulo remains on the left-hand side. Ecuador keeping their shape. Whatever works still. Just a bit of like-for-like substitutions as Angulo. Yeah, that's a foul there on Angulo, surely. Again, because Angulo is so happy to operate on the touchline, it's those positions that Hincapié is picking out in that left-hand side number 10 position. Making it really awkward. Angulo's put in a tireless shift, really. I think he'll be one of the players that might have to be sacrificed for the greater good. But he is also a great option in terms of the direct outlet that he can go with his tricky running style. Estupiñán is warming up. Very, very surprised in the career trajectory of Estupiñán, man. What a left back he was at Brighton. Free kick for Ecuador. It's cleared away. Here's Pedro Vite. Finds Gonzalo Plata. Plata now studs on the ball. Confident. Caicedo. Sieves it to Preciada. Now Yeboah with the decent ball in. It's comfortable. Hey, welcome to the chat, Charles. Charles says the Germans are scared. They don't want to finish first. If they do, they face the might of the French in the quarterfinals. Is that right? Oof. We can understand why then. But correct me if I'm wrong, but Germany and France, as it stands, both will finish first, right, in the round of 32. So they're possibly trying to avoid them in the round of 16 is what you're trying to say, right, Charles? And I don't think it's going to work. They wanted to chuck the game. They'll have to really chuck the game, not go with their strongest starting 11. Julian Nagelsmann wants to win this game. Make no mistake about it, but his team have been matched here. Ecuador look good, and it's quite baffling as to how Ecuador do find themselves in this position of just 2 points as it stands. That is a really low return for a side that looked pretty good, man, but only 1 goal in the World Cup. It's not good enough. Drawing a blank against Cote d'Ivoire, fine, but Curacao can't have that. And yes, we've seen Cape Verde pull off draws against Spain and Uruguay. If you're harboring any hopes of trying to qualify, you need to try and win one of your opening 2 games. Lovely touch there by Florian Wirtz. Gets away from Caicedo brilliantly. Now onto the left-hand side. Here's Undev. Slips it through for Florian Wirtz. Lovely first touch. Oh, great challenge there by William Pacho. Preciado will clear that, but flowing move there from Germany. Florian Wirtz. First time really that we've seen him in the second half. Did get the assist for the Sane goal. But the way that he just took that touch away from Caicedo and then just ran at the Ecuador midfield. Lovely stuff there. It's the end of the third quarter. It's time of the heart. It's that time again. Charles says that Nagelsmann made the comment, "We are made to suffer even after topping the group," clearly highlighting their route to the final. Well, that's true. But, I mean, you're going to have to face the big boys at some point, right? And if you're going to go home, might as well go home early. If you're not a serious team, if you don't carry hopes of going the distance, you'll probably have statements like that. Do you think France, Spain, or Argentina care who they're playing? No way, man. So for Germany and Nagelsmann to make a comment like that just shows you that they feel that they need the rub of the green, the luck of the draw to go as far as possible in the tournament. And if he didn't want to win this game, he could have very easily played his B side. He went with the strongest possible starting 11. So he wants the 9 points. He could have very easily made changes too, but he's kept the likes of Musiala and Florian Wirtz still on this team. He's still got Kimmich too, so you can understand that Nagelsmann, while he might have said those comments, Charles, I don't deny them, evidence suggests that he wants the 3 points here. For Senegal, it would be absolutely damaging if they end up with a draw here. They need all 3 points to make some sort of noise in the third place table. They need at least 3 points to have a shout. 4 is good. These versions of Germany are silk ballers. They don't have that German mentality, kind of eroded since Pep came to Bundesliga. I think some of the German legends have spoken about it. Bastian Schweinsteiger was very vocal about the change in style and the loss of identity since Pep Guardiola went to Bayern Munich in 2015, 2016. So they're no longer that. They do have a couple of players with that powerful running style, like Felix Nemecha, Alexander Pavlovich, Leroy Sané, Kai Havertz. Maybe not Kai Havertz anymore because of the injuries that he suffered with Arsenal, but they do lack that powerful running style, that German grit. They've got some silky ballers, as you mentioned, Charles. Musiala, Florian Wirtz. They do have that talent, but do they have that grit, that German tenacity to take them far? It's going to be a like-for-like substitution here by Sebastian Beccaceche. Stupinian's coming on for Piero Hincapié. Should just slot in as that left-sided centre half. Stupinian, we've seen him at Brighton and then moving to AC Milan. has fallen out of the pecking order there as well. It's pretty curious to see how a man with so much potential was looking leaps and bounds. When Brighton sold Marc Cucurella to Chelsea, they replaced him with Estupinian, and it looked like an unbelievable piece of business. Had a couple of good seasons, and then something's gone wrong where the drop-off has been clear, because he should be starting for his country, man. I mean, it's difficult because they've got Angolo as that left-hand side winger and Nketiah, of course, as the left-hand side centre half. But someone like Estupinian, the quality that he has, should be finding ways to start games for the country, especially when he's playing a straight in Europe here. As Neuer loses out here, there's a chance here for Ecuador. He just about keeps it in here. Cut back, chance. Oh, heroic block there by Antonio Rudiger. Somehow they survived. That should have been the goal there for Ecuador. Oh, it all comes from a huge mistake at the back. Manuel Neuer getting caught out there. Lovely bit of play this. This should have been cleared between Jonathan Tah and Manuel Neuer. Lovely play this from Gonzalez. Just leaves it for Moises Caicedo. Just gets that into the area. And Rudiger does so well. Had to get that spot on in terms of a last-ditch challenge. Slightly off balance, but brilliant. That should have been a tap-in at the far stick. Clutch block there from the skipper. That was a chance for Ecuador. Florian Wirtz is off. Pascal Gross is on in his place. Gross, who back in Brighton. I think he went to Dortmund in the summer. Then came back in Jan, back to Brighton. Age 32, 33. But the German subs have not really made an impact, man. They brought on Beer, they brought on Angelo Stiller, Undev, and now Pascal Gross. We talked about Ecuador's bench making them weak. Germany's bench has certainly made them weaker, at least on paper. Yes, Undev has scored 3 goals in the World Cup, but I would say even Nagelsmann would agree that he's a couple of levels below Kai Havertz. Undev is more prolific, but in terms of the profile, the link-up ability, the aerial dominance of Kai Havertz, but has been completely nullified here by the 3 giant centre-halves. Joel Ordonez, William Pacho, and Piero Nketiah. Nketiah now on the bench for Estupinian. Oh, lovely drop of the shoulder. Yeboah has been class, man. Oh, it's just too much on that occasion, and that's a foul. I think that was Gonzalo Plata. Yeah, it was Plata. It was Plata on that far stick where it tried to make that run for... Trying to just poach that towards the far stick. Gonzalo Plata. I think he'll be looking to lead the line now in the absence of Ene Valencia. As we approach the final 15 minutes, Germany trying to get all 3 points to end their Group C. Campanias, Pascal Gross makes the run. I think there was Beer who made the run. Yes, this Gross who's retrieving the ball. Lovely bit of play on that occasion. It's a goal kick for Ecuador. Good play on the left-hand side. This just puts the ball into the danger area. Good tracking of the run there by Estupinian. Here's Pacho, finds Vite. Good hold-up play in the central areas. Jonathan Tah gets caught out a long way. And now Ecuador in the central areas. David Rom will get there first. And Neuer should clear. Ecuador are having these freak moments, those half chances. That's a clever touch. Leroy Sané is bearing down goal. Leroy Sané, it's straight at the goalkeeper. He scuffs his effort. It is straight at Galindez. Oh, what a chance that was for Germany. Great play there by Under with the link up. This game is a bit stretched now. Here's Angulo having a run at Malik Thiaw. Now is Stupinian. Pedro Vite finds Moises Caicedo. Caicedo with a clip pass. They win the first header. Oh, this can it get a shot? What a block that is by Jonathan Tah. Wow. That could have very easily have been the goal that Ecuador have been desperate for. He brings it down expertly. What a block this is from Jonathan Tah. I think it's Angelo Stella who comes across. This was a chance for Leroy Sané. He shows the composure. Oh, it's brilliant, really, from William Pacho. There was a scuff shot there by Leroy Sané. It's a corner for Ecuador. Joe Lodnes trying to bust clear of the close attendance of Antonio Rudiger. Corner comes in. Flick on header. It's a chance and it's 2-1 to Ecuador. It is Gonzalo Plata from close range. And Ecuador have the lead. Can you believe it? It's the goal they were desperate for. And they have it. Germany cannot have any complaints. Look at the scenes here at the MetLife Stadium. The Ecuadorians are delirious. Well, as it stands, Germany will be on 6 points, level with Ivory Coast, but head-to-head dictates that Germany will be ahead of Côte d'Ivoire. Well, as it stands, it's 4 points for Ecuador. This is a decent corner. The flick on is good. And Manuel Neuer again, it's just age, isn't it? It takes an age to get there. His reflexes aren't as quick as they used to be. And such a snapshot-like finish there by Gonzalo Plata. He just sticks his leg out and he gets a toe on it. Well, Manny, check the third place table now. Where does Ecuador stand? They're on 4 points now. But goal difference is going to play a part. It's not going to play a part when you're going to have a look at the top 3 teams, but all the third place sides, when they're put together in the table, if they're level on points, goal difference will play a huge part. So Ecuador have 4 points. Their goal difference is 0. So goal difference is certain, and you can see from their reaction now that they've secured the point, and now they have to try and make sure they try and get another goal here. This is going to be a mad dash. Manny, come on, let me know. What's the top 8? Where's Ecuador? 4 points good enough? 4 points might just be good enough. Damn it. Moy is not going to get that break. We knew he was not going to get a break, but Moy is made of steel, man. Look at the Ecuador bench, man. Look at that. Everybody's just poured out. It's going to be a group effort from now to full time now. Angulo's on the deck. Ecuador want Germany to hit the ball out. Here's Angelo Stiller. Angulo back onto his feet, but he's limping. Here's Malik Thiaw. Finds Stiller. Good pass. Cut out. And now Ecuador on the counter-attack. They've got couple of players committed in this one. Germany backpedaling. Ecuador would absolutely love another one here. Clever pass here. He might get there through. Neuer gets there. Anderson, 116 million, not 130. Manny, don't spread false news on my channel. Did they get a 115 million bid rejected? Or am I tripping? Thought Romano did mention 130. Yeah, fee up to 130. Fabrizio Romano deleted and then posted again. Yeeks. Here's Rudiger. Germany have been so disappointing, man. So disappointing. Ecuador smelling blood here. They want to improve their goal difference. 3 points, massive. Ecuador and Côte d'Ivoire. Germany and Côte d'Ivoire both level on 6 points. Germany will be ahead of Ivory Coast by their head-to-head. Angulo with a flick on. Keep the ball in tight spaces. Decent football this. Angulo, that might be a foul. Oh, play continues. There's Tupinian. Pedro Vite. Can look at that. Everybody from the Ecuador bench is on their feet, man. It's absolutely brilliant to see. Preciado. Live score crashing. I'm not surprised. It's going to be very, very hectic. And that's the thing. Once we wake up, Manny, that table for the third place, that's going to change, man. That is absolutely going to change. We've got 4 more games after this one. Stupinian, Caicedo. Caicedo carrying his country into a quarterfinals or something like that would be absolutely magical. Jonathan Tah. Franz Rüdiger. Game Germany, man. This is not it. I didn't have them anywhere near the challengers list, favorites list. They were just there, one of the sides that might be a bit difficult for one of the challengers. There's a chance here. Angelo Stiller clearly fouled. No, not according to the ref. The ref has let a few more challenges flow here in the second half. Here's Undev. Can Germany just so pedestrian on the ball, man? Just slow build up. Nothing really exciting, nothing electrifying. It also depends on the talent at your disposal, but it's just been very flat. I mean, yep, beating Curacao 7-1, sure, but 2-1 win against Cote d'Ivoire and a 2-1 loss to Ecuador pretty much sums up where German football does lie here, as Pedro Vite fouled here again. Germany thought that a bit of play acting going on there by Vite. Fouled there by Beer, as they can just take their time. Nearly there. Nearly there. That was the reaction when Gonzalo Plata scored. What a massive goal in Ecuadorian history, man. This is possibly their biggest scalp. Their fans who've made the journey, spent all that money, getting their money's worth. Look at what it means to Moises Caicedo, man. If Caicedo's happy, Manny, I'm happy. Angulo comes off. What a shift he's put in on the left-hand side. Him and Yeboah, absolutely electrifying. Great stuff. Torres and Caicedo have replaced the two wing-backs. Still no minutes for Kendry Paez, Manny. It's just a damning indictment to the Wonder Kid, man. He needs to come back to Cobham. Chelsea need to take care of him. Can Ecuador trying to make themselves a nuisance as Caicedo with the foul. 2 Caicedos now on the pitch. Germany looking to get a move on here. Ecuador fans just desperate for the full-time whistle. 4 points would be good enough. Here's Beer. Again, everything is backwards and then forwards. Just looking for a bit of off-the-cuff stuff here from Germany's point of view. Ecuador have come with a game plan as Malik Thiaw looks to ride the challenge. And there's been no urgency since Germany scored that goal in the second minute. Just a lack of forward play has just been really deflating to watch. Jamal Musiala, Sane, Rom, back to Musiala, Jonathan Tah, now everybody getting involved. Malik Thiaw. Thiaw onto the right-hand side, finding Beer. Oh my goodness me, Germany so slow. Sane, Rom, Rüdiger. It's like Julian Nagelsmann's tactic is to just bore the opposition. Maybe a lapse of concentration with the death by 10,000 passes, because this is not Germany, man. There's a reason why I've tapped out from them. I used to support them big time over the years. I don't recognize these guys, and there's no way that I'm rooting for Kai Havertz and Florian Wirtz. Stupinian, that was a needless foul there. Needless. Look at Sebastian Becker-Cheche, man. Oof. He's running a marathon on the sidelines. Free kick for Germany. Pascal Gross has been waved away. Rom might be interested in putting this into the danger area. And Beer has got a presence to him. Jonathan Tah and Antonio Rudiger, of course, the two main targets. No Kai Havertz, who's the great aerial presence for Germany. Becker-Cheche is just absolutely a bundle of nerves on the sidelines. David Rom delivers, trying to catch him at the near post. Poor delivery. It's a corner. Stupinian makes amends. And nothing really in terms of a set-piece delivery. Again, the only word I can keep associating with Germany is just disappointing, man. Lackluster is another one you can use to describe this German performance. As Rom delivers. Good header there by William Pacho. Wow, brilliant. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Manuel Neuer playing sweeper. Angelo Stiller. Ooh, that's a bad challenge. Might be a foul and a yellow card. So just a bit of ill discipline this from Ecuador now. Goal scorer Gonzalo Plata just goes jumping in there. Bad challenge on Jamal Musiala, who had a leg break at the Club World Cup. Great to see him back playing football on the biggest stage in world football, as Rom, this time on the left-hand side, will deliver. Left back in charge of set pieces for this German side. Approaching the final minute of normal time, expecting 6 or 7 minutes of stoppage time as Rom delivers. Trying to get Rudiger involved. Just hacked clear. It's a bit uncomfortable. Good, powerful header. Ecuador want the foul. They're not going to get it. Germany keep it alive. These are dangerous headers. They're trying to win those challenges. They do. Brilliant stuff. Just wanted more here, the Ecuador side. They're just playing with that extra bit of desire. And now getting the ball to stick. And now Caicedo can possibly lead the attack. He's let that go on the right-hand side. Now Caicedo making his way into the box. That's a criminal pass, man. Come on, he has to hit that better to Caicedo. He overhits that. And now Germany on the attack. Just look at Germany play here, man. It's so slow. This cannot be the tactics. Julian Nagelsmann, he should look at this performance with worrying eyes. 7 minutes of stoppage time signaled by the fourth official. Ecuador, through the back channel, might end up qualifying for the round of 32. They simply had to win, and they've pulled out of a huge result, a come-from-behind victory as it stands. Everybody working tremendously hard now. The attacking job is done if you're an Ecuador side. You can try and pinch one on the break. It's all about trying to just lock it down. Here's Angelo Stiller. Onto the left-hand side to Rom. Decent line breaker to Musiala. Musiala goes on the outside. Lovely play this. Musiala overpowered, but somehow keeps the football. Here's Stiller. David Rom, cross into the box. It's cleared away. Brought down nicely by Malik Thiaw. They've kept the danger alive on the right-hand side. Here's Beer with the cross. Malik Thiaw. And he's playing so high up the pitch. Jonathan Tah, he gets robbed off the ball. Fairly, according to the referee. Ecuador need a out ball here. Get A touch fortunate. Caicedo, lovely touch. Beautifully done. Oh, chance there. Caicedo went for the clip pass. Wasted chance there. I think Caicedo should have just drove with the ball. Instead, he went for that early clip through pass. Germany on the attack again. Caicedo back into defensive position. No surprises. What a shift this is from Moises Caicedo. Here's Jonathan Tah. Angelo Stiller. David Rom. Rom with another cross into the box. It looks like this is Germany's only other tactic here. Give it to Rom and Rom crosses it into the box. This is not a good tactic whatsoever because Ecuador have a back three. William Pacho, Joel Ordonez still there. Stupinian there. You can see Vite, Moises Caicedo all getting back into the box. It's going to take something really special if you want some of your forward players to win the headers here. Here's Undev. Undev from a tight angle. Side netting. That was a chance there for Dennis Undev. Trying to get his 4th goal of the World Cup. Just pushed wide enough there. Trying to catch out Galindez at his near post. I think that's the first shot in anger that Germany have really had in the second half. Galindez has had nothing to do. Still no shot on target. Ecuador trying to keep the ball high up the pitch. Look at their players, man. The bench is waiting to just spill out in celebration. This would be an absolute party in New Jersey. The Ecuadorians are going to go wild. Caicedo, they're going to erect a statue of him in the country. Be careful, Moy. Might have a statue at the bridge and one for Ecuador if you keep carrying on like this. Here's Rudiger. Again, look at the body language, man. It's just, there's nobody demanding the ball. It's all just getting away from it. This is really poor stuff. Really poor. Germany are not going anywhere in this World Cup. Caicedo wins yet another interception in midfield. Again, give the ball away quite cheaply. Ecuador are doing well in the first defensive phase, getting the ball away, but the second phase where they have to keep hold of the ball, that's where they're really struggling. They've put in an unreal shift. Sebastian Beccacheche has made the changes, brought on fresh legs, so that excuse cannot fly. Players having to go from side to side, covering the spaces. Again, the players that have come on the pitch off the bench for Germany have just been poor, man. What is this? Beer came on, Malik Thiaw, Angelo Stiller, Undev. Have they made any difference? Absolutely not. Throw in for Germany. They're just chucking into the box. They just lost ideas. They've got no idea, man. It's another strike from distance. It's poor. This has been a shoddy Germany performance. And if they want to go far in this World Cup, it's not going to happen with performances like this. This is the goal as it stands that will send the entire nation of Ecuador into raptures, into delirium. Well, Germany will qualify as table toppers, but this is a result that makes them look very much beatable, man. An Ecuador side who not just had a struggle to get a win, they couldn't score a goal heading into this game, and they've scored 2 against this Germany defense. 1 from open play and 1 set piece. Look at Sebastian Beccacheche, man. In terms of managerial performances on the sidelines, this one has got to be top. Look at the Ecuador fans, man. You can only be on their side and feel that emotion. Wow, their hearts must be beating out of their chest. This 90 seconds is going to go down so slowly. Vite, Caicedo. Caicedo, what a pass onto the left-hand side. Just keep the ball now. Run to the corner flag. Here's the goal scorer, the match winner as it stands. Gonzalo Plata goes on the outside. That should be a foul, and it is. The right outcome there for Ecuador. Brilliant pass there by Moises Caicedo to start off the attack. A minute of stoppage time remaining. Ecuador nearly there. Nelson Angulo and Gonzalo Plata, 20 and number 19. Look at the Ecuador fans. They are in disbelief. They're all up in prayers. They're 30 seconds away from progressing to the round of 32. 4 points should be enough. This was a must-win scenario for Ecuador. They've done it the hard way. They've dug in deep. And they're so close now. They're taking their time, a bit of gamesmanship. This is the right approach. They're going to try and keep the ball at the corner flag for as long as possible. It's a throw in for Ecuador. Oh, the referee blows the full-time whistle and Ecuador get the job done. A come-from-behind victory in New Jersey. And it is scenes here at the MetLife Stadium. Look at what it means to the nation of Ecuador, man. Wow. This is what the World Cup is all about. Leroy Sané gave them the lead. Angulo from distance gave them the equalizer. And Gonzalo Plata from the corner pokes it from close range to give Ecuador all 3 points and qualify for the round of 32. Look at this, man. This is what football is all about. Moises Caicedo is a national hero. Look at Sebastian Beccacheche. He's been mobbed by his team, by his country people. Oh, this is scenes, man. This is unbelievable stuff. There are tears on grown men and women. The players cannot believe what they've done. The golden generation of Ecuador will be going into the round of 32. Moises Caicedo, you are not going back to the bridge, my friend. You are going to the round of 32. This is more than Chelsea, man. This is for Moy, and this is for the nation of Ecuador. A stunning performance, and they deserve it. They deserve everything they get from this moment here, man. Brilliant performance. This is heroic stuff. Moises Caicedo dropping down onto his knees in prayer. We have seen this when he drops those hero performances for Chelsea. But seeing him do it for his country with the captain's armband is special. What a moment. What a game, Manny. Absolutely crazy. It is going to be a party in Ecuador. It's full time at the MetLife Stadium. Ecuador 2, Germany 1. Wow. This is why we love this fucking sport, man. This is why we do this. Great scenes. Man, if Moy is happy, I'm happy. Well, it's been a great stream, man. We knew that this game would deliver. It was must win for Ecuador, and they've only gone and done it. Brilliant stuff, this. Full time, Germany 1, Ecuador 2.